Assalamu alaikum, peace be to you who is watching this video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you get something out of it. So we're on day 14 of the 75 hard program, and the message that I wanted to share today, or an insight that I wanted to share today with you, is just, I don't think I've ever done this before, where I've gone for 2 full weeks. That's 14 days of not having sugar. So 2 weeks of sugar free. I don't think I've ever done that. When they say that people have a sweet tooth, like, I love anything sweet, whether it's a dessert or whether it's chocolate or whether it's some sweet milk, whatever it is, I love anything that's sweet. Whenever I've felt like I'm in a funk, or whether I felt like, something's kind of not going according to plan, or upset about something, I've definitely resorted to reaching out for the sugar, whether it's a chocolate bar or otherwise. And also when I'm home educating my children, and let's say it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon or just after lunchtime, and I feel like, my gosh, I've got an energy drain. Many times I've gone into the kitchen and I thought, I need to fix this, I need to do something about it, and I'll have something sugary, which I know doesn't sound great, but that's the honest truth. I did say to you when I started these videos that I'm going to tell you how it is. Keep it raw, keep it real, so that you understand. If you're going through the same challenges, that I get it, I do genuinely understand it, and there is a way of overcoming or working through that particular situation. You might not see it as a challenge. I did see it as a challenge, but that situation in your life. So what's it been like having zero sugar for 2 weeks? I have to say that I did struggle in the first 4-5 days. I did struggle. I felt like there was something missing. So when I was low on energy, even though I was drinking all this water, spreading it throughout, the day, but doing the 2 workouts every single day, even if it's a walk outside, it was still something that I wasn't used to doing, or I'm getting into the rhythm of it, but I wasn't used to doing. So it was tiring, doing all this kind of core work indoors. It's tiring, and so I think I just felt that there was almost like a craving for sugar, like I needed it. I'd go into the cupboard and then I'd even lift something up that was, full of sugar, and I'd say, no, just leave it, just leave it. I deliberately did not eat dates during that time, and the reason being is that I know I love dates. And it's a very nutritious item of food, but I just knew that I may not have been able to fully control myself. Instead of having the 1 or 2 days, I would have had more, and I didn't want to do that. So I think the first maybe 4 or 5 days I struggled with it. But I attended a wedding yesterday where they had the most delicious cake, the most delicious little desserts. You get those little desserts, like little trifles and little mint things, and what's that, passion fruit, just all sorts of amazing desserts, all sorts of delicious biscuits. They had what's the creamy thing called? It's like an Asian dessert. What's it called? Ras malai. They had ras malai yesterday. Didn't touch it. And what was really interesting is that I didn't have to force myself. I didn't have to say, like, Hafiza, remember, you're not touching that. You're on a sugar-free diet right now. I didn't even have to use any of that language. It just didn't feel... It's almost like I wasn't attracted to it, which is weird, right? Like, I'm not attracted to I'm not desiring the ras malai, and it's in front of me. If you're not sure what ras malai is, it's just the most delicious dessert, an Asian dessert made with milk and condensed powders, and it's just delicious. It's beautiful, very soft, very delicate, and they do tend to serve it as almost like a dessert in weddings. So, but I just didn't feel like I wanted to go for it. So that was interesting. And even though I was stood there and I was even taking pictures of all the kind of dessert tables, for memories for the wedding, not once did I feel like I kind of want to reach out to that and I want to touch that because that looks beautiful. I admired it from a distance, but I didn't actually have it. So that craving that's been there for, I don't know, most of my life, if not all of my life, it's not there anymore. You know, when I intended to go sugar free on the 75 hard program, I absolutely did not make an intention that it's going to be for the full 75 days, because you don't have to do that. You can make an intention that I'm going to go low carb in the first 10 days, and then you're going to do something else in the next 10 days and something else for the next 10 days in terms of your diet. You get to control that diet. So I thought that, okay, for the first 10 days, let me just, actually it was the first week, first of all, I want to go sugar free. Let's see what it's like. And then after that kind of craving phase finished, I thought, do you know what, let's just take it to 10 days. Now it's been 14 days. And I said to my husband today, I said, you know what, I think I think I can do it for 75 days. And he said, as husbands do, he said, no, don't think about it, just do it. So yeah, you know, I'm not saying that because my husband has said it is my decision, my intention, dear husband. But yeah, I am going to, inshallah, God willing. Apart from the dates, which I would like to have, especially when I'm fasting on a Monday and a Thursday, I am going to go sugar free. So I'm going to be very careful because sugar seems to be in everything these days. So therefore, I'm also studying more and more about ultra processed foods. And just figuring out like what is it that I'm actually eating. It's in my family, raising my children. It's we have like a lot of space in our cupboards, and the reason being is that I do tend to buy a lot of fresh produce. There are not packets of biscuits and packets of lots of packets of crackers and tinned items in my cupboards, which is just, that's a video for another time. But as a minimalist, you know, you actually don't need that much in your kitchen, and yet you can still freshly cook meals on a regular basis. I do it every single day. I think it's rare that I don't cook a fresh meal a day. Sometimes I might cook like a large amount, you know, and then it might last us like maybe 2 days or 2.5 days or 2 days, and then that almost like becomes a leftover. But yeah, I think I've gone off a tangent there. Where was I? Yes. So I was, yeah, dates. Yes, dates is definitely an important one for me, not only because I really love them, but because it's part of the sunnah, meaning that that's what the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, taught to us, that the actual sugars in the dates, how beneficial they are for you. So, or for us. So, I'm going to go for the 75 days, inshallah. You know, God willing, I'm going to go for the 75 days, and I'm going to see what happens to my body when I'm not actually deliberately eating kind of sugar. You know, I haven't had any sweets, any chocolates, any cakes, any biscuits, and my children love baking cakes, and that's fine. That's part of their food technology, but I've just not had anything. So, you know, let's go for it. This is the bold, decisive Hafiza showing up. Yeah, so I was just doing a little bit of research actually, what can happen to the body when it's when without sugar. So some of the kind of research that I found is, first of all, you have more stable energy levels. When I read that, I said, oh my gosh, you know, you take it for granted, like, because one day you're crashing in the afternoon, you just think, gosh, I need a spike, I need that sugar, you know, I need it to be able to teach my kids for the next 2 hours, or sometimes even at 11 o'clock in the morning. I used to just like have this drain of energy, but I'm not spiking. So definitely more stable energy levels throughout the day. So much so that I do feel I'm getting more done, right? As weird as it is, because I've added 2 45-minute workouts, this constant drinking of water, right? Reading more, right? But I am actually putting myself out there, and just this video, you know, kind of creative video. And I know I talk kind of like for 10 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. I just say what I need to say. But yeah, I do feel like I'm becoming more productive because there is more stable energies, more stable energy within me. Improving mental clarity. That's an interesting one, because until I read that, I didn't realize that is definitely what's happening. So I had a talk to prepare for, and I had to leave it last minute but I didn't have to leave it last minute. I left it last minute. I take responsibility. So I was delivering a talk today to a group of women, who had converted or reverted to the faith Islam. and I was talking to them today about excellence in the faith. And normally I would have planned and prepared for that talk like days and days in advance. It was in there, but I hadn't actually written it all down. And so this morning, we had a late night yesterday because, we had a fantastic family wedding yesterday. But when I sat down and I actually kind of just sat there, wrote that down, wrote my kind of train of thought, okay, I've got this 40-minute talk to do. These are the kind of areas I'm going to mention. This is what I want them to take away. This is how I'm going to do it. It actually took a lot less time. Normally I might need like a good few hours and then almost like practice that speech, make sure that, I'm within the time boundaries that they've given me. But it didn't actually take that much time. Like that clarity, that mental clarity was definitely there. It almost felt like my brain, my thought processes were sharper. So yeah, that's definitely, if you're feeling like a bit, oh gosh, I'm all over the place in terms of how you're thinking, like I'm just wondering now that the next assignment I have to write, which is straight after the winter holiday, I'm wondering like, is this like the sugar-free Hafiza? Is it going to be clearer for me to do the research, to do the writing for my masters? That's going to be interesting. I will share that with you when I get to it. Better skin, yeah, definitely. I think it's a combination of the sugar and definitely the water, right? So I can't 100% say for sure that it's definitely the sugar, but I think it's a combination of drinking a lot more water. Like I'm finding now that, drinking 3.8 litres of water every single day, I'm kind of rounding it off to 4 litres. There was one day that I did an intense workout because these insanity workouts are quite intense, and I think I was over 4 litres, but my body needed them. My body did, and I also feel that even with that much water, sometimes I'm kind of still feeling that my lips are a bit dry. So yeah, it is hydrating me, but I think that the clearer skin is definitely a combination of the zero sugar and also the water as well. As I said, I don't really have the cravings. You can put something in front of me and normally I'd say, oh my gosh, yes please, but I just don't have that craving right now. It's just not there. Better sleep. I'm not sure how to judge that because I did sleep in the daytime today, which is why I'm awake so late today because I've got some work to catch up on. But better sleep. My sleep's a little bit, it's not where I want it to be, and that's probably because I'm still kind of fully finding that rhythm where I'm trying to get my workouts done and this video and the reading and everything done before my children go to sleep, because that would be brilliant, because then I can just chill out, get any client feedbacks, anything, all the paperwork done, and then start the fresh day. So definitely I need to figure that out. Have I had good sleep? Yeah, I have actually. Even this afternoon when I went to sleep, I did feel that it was a very deep sleep. Like I don't even think I tossed and turned. So maybe there is something about better sleep as well for sugar free. So anyway, I'll come back tomorrow because I do want to talk to you about what I've learned about myself over these 14 days. But today, just maybe ask yourself, have you ever had a sugar-free diet? How many days did you go for? For me, this is definitely the longest. I cannot think of a time in my life when I wasn't sugar-free. I can't think of that. 14 days, right? It's a win. It's definitely a big win for me. All right? So I'll speak to you soon. Take care of yourself and thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, then please do subscribe. If you feel that some of the messages that I'm sharing on these videos, they could benefit somebody else, then just send them a link and say, hey, listen, you subscribe to this channel. She's going to be there. She's still got quite a lot of weeks to do. She's only done 2 weeks, so hop on, and maybe even there's just 1 or 2 things that you take away if you take away from these videos, that's beneficial. Anyway, gotta go, still got work to do. Take care. Bye bye.